Hi, I'm James.
And I'm Laurent.
And today we're in Indianapolis.
And some of you are going to wonder, Indianapolis, you guys travel all over the world to Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia. Why would you even go to Indianapolis?
Well, sometimes we're also looking for weekend getaways. And Indianapolis is only 3 hours away from Chicago, and it has great attractions to visit.
In this video, we'll show you our top 5 places to visit in Indianapolis.
So let's go!
Number 1 on our list is the Children's Museum.
The Indianapolis Children's Museum is the largest children's museum in the world.
And even though we're not children ourselves,
Not even close.
we still had a blast visiting it.
The museum is almost 500,000 square feet.
That's more than 8 football fields full of artifacts. 120,000 artifacts, actually.
And you can easily spend the whole day going through all the different sections of the museum.
But if you don't want to spend the whole day, you'll have to decide which 2 or 3 sections you want to visit. So what was your favorite section?
It had to be the Dinosphere. It had several actual dinosaurs from 65 million years ago.
Including a T-Rex that's one of the best preserved in the world.
But what we appreciated as adults is that there's also real science going on at the museum, with paleontologists cleaning dinosaur bones right in front of you.
The museum is also very interactive. Children can look at dinosaurs, but they can also touch some of the bones and teeth.
And there's a lot of educational games and puzzles.
Another section we really liked was Power of Children.
It celebrates children who made a difference in the world.
The story of Anne Frank was the most personal to me. We've both been to Amsterdam and visited the Anne Frank Museum there, and I visited it when I was 10 years old maybe, and it really touched me.
And they recreated the Amsterdam house where her family was hiding from the Nazis, just like they recreated Ruby Bridges' classroom and Ryan White's bedroom.
It was really inspiring.
Yeah. But the museum also has a whole outdoor section dedicated to sports and children's health.
Here again, very interactive with lots of different fields for children to practice different sports.
And it has a giant treehouse in the middle that children can climb and play in.
But there's a lot of other sections like the space section, the train section, the archaeology section,
and a 40-foot tall blown glass tower by Chihuly, one of our favorite artists.
a great museum all around. And number 2 on our list is the Motor Speedway Museum.
When I think of Indianapolis, the first thing that comes to mind is car racing and the Indy 500.
Although to be fair to him, James grew up in Michigan and they love them cars in Michigan.
Yes, we do. Of course, there aren't car races every day, and when there are no races, you can take a bus tour of the Speedway.
But what we liked the most was visiting the museum, which is right in the middle of the Speedway.
They have almost every car that won the Indy 500 from the very first one in 1911 to today.
Even though we don't follow IndyCar racing, we loved seeing the evolution of cars and technology over the last 100 years.
The Wasp was the first car to win in 1911, and it still had a crank to start the engine. It looked like a real car.
But the newer cars look nothing like the cars you see on the road. The cockpit is so small, I don't even know how the drivers can get inside.
He's 6'2", and he tried to get into one at the Children's Museum, and it was not graceful.
So anything you didn't like about the Motor Speedway Museum?
Well, the museum isn't that big. It's a little cramped at times with all the cars parked next to each other.
Yeah, you can't really move around and look at all of them from every angle. And what about your favorite part of the museum?
It has to be the display about Ford versus Ferrari. It was great that they had a Ford GT over there because people thought it could never be done.
They paid homage to the movie and the story, and also all the people who developed the Ford GT.
In addition to the cars, there's also tons of memorabilia, like helmets and racing suits and trophies.
To be clear, this is a museum dedicated to car racing. You're not gonna find a Ford T or a Volkswagen Beetle in there, but I thought it was a great museum.
And number 3 on our list is Monument Circle.
Monument Circle is a big square in the shape of a circle.
A circle square? I don't remember studying that in geometry class.
Maybe that's what's so unique about it, I guess.
Monument Circle is right downtown, and in the middle of it is the Soldiers and Sailors Monument, probably the most recognizable landmark in Indianapolis.
The Soldiers and Sailors Monument is almost 300 feet tall, and it took 13 years to build it.
You definitely can't miss it when you're walking downtown.
The monument celebrates all the Hoosiers who fought in the Civil War, but by extension, it celebrates all the common soldiers who fought in other wars.
Outside, the monument features lots of statues and fountains, including statues of animals that we thought were kind of funny.
And inside, the monument contains a Civil War museum.
We also like the architecture of all the buildings around the circle. The circle shape certainly makes buildings more challenging to design.
During the day, Monument Circle is one of the most animated places in Indianapolis.
There are several coffee shops and restaurants, and there are food trucks as well.
And in the summer, there's also a farmer's market.
But Monument Circle is also great at night, when a light show projects art on the surrounding buildings.
And if you go to Monument Circle, you probably want to make your way to the other downtown monuments, such as the State Capitol, which is only a couple of blocks away.
And throughout downtown, there are signs everywhere that point you to all the main attractions. It's really well done.
And number 4 on our list is Newfields, which is the name of the Indianapolis Museum of Art.
What's interesting about Newfields is that it's both an indoor and an outdoor museum.
Inside you have the art collection, and outside you have a beautiful park with also some outdoor art.
Newfields is not a huge museum, but it has a lot of variety. Not a lot of depth, but a lot of breadth.
That's right, Newfields has a lot of different types of art. But for each type, a smaller collection than what you would find in a larger museum like the Chicago Art Institute.
A little bit of Greek and Roman art, a little bit of Asian art, a little bit of African art, and a little bit of pre-Columbian art.
The Impressionist and Post-Impressionist collection has work by Gauguin and Cézanne and Van Gogh.
But it's the collection of American paintings that was the largest and had some of the most interesting pieces.
So what was your favorite section of the museum?
It had to be the design collection. There was a huge room with a lot of really interesting furniture.
It was my favorite section as well. We said earlier that some of the section didn't have a lot of depth, but the design section was the exception.
Lots of interesting chairs and everyday objects that you don't always associate with an art museum.
But as we mentioned before, Newfields is also interesting because of its outdoor section.
It has beautiful gardens, and the museum comes up with seasonal themes, so no matter what season, there's always something going on.
The gardens are very peaceful, with lots of flower beds and fountains, but also interesting sculptures.
You can easily spend an hour or two outdoors and enjoy the natural beauty of the park. And number 5 on our list is the Central Canal Walk.
Indianapolis is on the east bank of the White River, but right downtown there's also the Central Canal.
The Central Canal was built almost 200 years ago in 1837. Initially, it was supposed to be 300 miles long and almost cross the entire state, but only an 8-mile stretch was built.
The section downtown was redeveloped in 1985 and now provides a nice scenic walk.
Of course, it's a lot nicer on a sunny day, but unfortunately the weather did not cooperate when we went to shoot the video.
On a nice sunny day, you'll see tons of people strolling around.
And you can even rent kayaks or pedal boats.
It's obviously not as scenic on a cloudy day, but it still has a little bit of a Venice feel to it because of the shape of some of the bridges.
It's still a nice place to get some fresh air, and you should definitely check it out.
So we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did,
Give it a big thumbs up
and put your comments.
in the comment section below.
And if you want to subscribe to our channel,
We're going to put a link right here.
and if you want to watch our other videos, we're going to put one right here and another one right there.
Bye.
Bye.